That's Sim and I Podcast. Hello, I'm Michael. It's Travis. It's Eric. We're doing a movie. That's right. We do movies on this show almost weekly. Every episode dedicated to it. Does it hold up or not? And today's focus will be Eric's selection. As he said, nobody talks about this movie anymore. The Basketball Diaries. We'll find out if it holds up or not in a little bit. But first, we're going to cover our quarantine viewing picks, tell you what we've been watching. So, do we like it? Things to avoid? We'll let you know. 5-star review. cinemaipod@gmail.com. Travis, have you emailed the show lately? Travis, you should email the show.
Excuse me, you're asking if I, the co-host, have emailed.
I should email the show.
I'm on?
Yeah.
I've not done that. It hasn't occurred to me. I'm doing okay. Thanks for asking. The real question is, how are you doing, Eric? How's the sick house?
Good. I just emailed the show. I was just wondering what you guys thought about. I got nothing. Listen, we're here. It's another week, and we got a big spotlight film. But I'm real curious about what you guys have been up to lately.
Oh boy, no emails this week. Chad, we still want your follow up on V for Vendetta because you said you wouldn't watch it unless we approved it, and we did approve it. So we're waiting on you, Chad.
Ball's in your court, pal.
Mm-hmm. Work to do.
We are waiting on you, as Future Island said. I gotta say, I know that we kind of do evergreen episodes around here, but man, I just really want to say how much I love Val Kilmer. And everybody dies. We got a running routine here of who's going to be the next big celebrity death. Seems we talk about them all the time because they come up a lot. Gene Hackman died this year, but Val Kilmer is an incredible actor. Love so many of his movies. I think the fact that he died actually seems like people are more like, oh man, people are coming out of the woodwork more than I had heard about him while he was living. And maybe that's just the bubbles I'm traversing through, but yeah, I miss you, buddy. Good job.
It's like World's Greatest Dad, and they're like, making the grief about them. I watched The Saint. I watched The Saint after he died, and you know what? That's a pretty entertaining movie, dude. I gotta say. I mean, it's a fun movie still. The dude seeing him play all those different roles. It's a perfect Val Kilmer movie. It was the right call. I made the right call in making that. You made the right call.
You chose a movie. Film.
I did that.
We can't watch Paul Schrader movies anymore, so I guess I'll watch more Val Kilmer movies.
Come on.
That's what Eric told me. I'm just
that
blew over. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
It's fine now. It's fine. Let's just not talk about it.
Eric, anything you want to add about the great Val Kilmer?
I think a lot of people forget what a great comedic talent the guy was. Like he's pretty much spent the 80s in comedies, and he was hilarious in Real Genius, Top Secret, Top Gun to a small effect. It was a fun like popcorn role, but and
he's funny in The Saint.
He's funny. I was just watching a clip of him in that Ricky Gervais show. It's Warwick Davis's show.
The
clip is hilarious. He was funny, dude. He had a great sense of humor. Like I watched the whole podcast he did with Tom Green, and there was just a lot more to the guy than just like an actor's actor, in my opinion.
And the documentary Val, which you recommended a few years back, at least to me for the first time, and I loved it. I'm so glad I got to see that, and amazing that he kept all that footage. If you never saw Val, check out Val, folks. So long, Val. Maybe that's the last time we'll ever talk about you on the Sim and I Podcast, but I'm not so sure. Yeah, I doubt that as well. Quarantine Viewing Picks, anybody? Where we make suggestions or recommendations or tell you what not to watch. This is that section of the show, Travis.
Travis has the floor at this point.
As I take a drink of water.
Yeah, let me do that too. Here we go. Yeah. I've downsized from my giant rocket ship. Remember? Yeah, I'm just a glass
the fire hydrant.
I think I actually started hurting my hand. I had hand pain that got so bad, and I stopped using it, and it went away. I'm telling you, too much.
That says something. You were getting hand cramps from
when your hands are hydrant. When your water bottle starts to give you arthritis.
Do I have neuropathy? Do I have diabetes? Like it was actual pain. It was awful. So I cut it out. I may still have diabetes.
And for those that listen and don't watch the show and have never actually seen the hydrant, try and imagine like one of those old school green thermoses that's 3 feet tall and 3 times as wide.
I was hydrated. It was a great time to be hydrated.
So I only watched one movie this week besides the feature film. but I did watch some TV shows, including the season finales of some stuff. So I'll talk about those instead. I'll mention the movie first, which I can't recommend. Stay away from the new film Holland starring Nicole Kidman. You know, it's set in Michigan, and there's a moment where like one character is like it's like in doubt whether or not he actually went to Frankenmuth, and she's like, "Oh no, he definitely went to Frankenmuth. He got the chicken." And it's like, "Oh yeah, a Michigander would totally get that." Right. People outside of Michigan, I don't know if they're going to necessarily make that connection that's happening there. But other than that brief little thrill, it was a slugfest, man. It took me a long time to get through it. Like, it was like one of those. It's a 90-minute movie. It took me like 4 hours to watch it. I kept on stopping it to do other things. I can't recommend it. Can't recommend it. And this is from the director that did Flesh last year or 2 years ago that I really liked, but this was not great. Predictable, and I suck at predicting shit. Just watched today the season finale of Daredevil Born Again. You know, Eric, you asked when I first mentioned the first episode a couple months ago what was going on with I'm blanking on his name, Drew Goddard. Yeah. And I think that the show really it missed him. Like it was lacking without him. There's 9 episodes here. 3 of those episodes were directed by the duo Justin Benson or Aaron Benson and Justin Moorhead. And those guys are awesome directors, but even still you can only do so much with what's on the page, even the greatest director. And
George Lucas.
I mean, it was good overall, but man, it took a long time to not end up really getting anywhere. It kind of like ends on a climax where you're like, oh, so tune in next time. I was already going to. It's got its moments. It's definitely got its moments because it's like these people that you love that playing these actors, or these actors that you like playing these characters that you love, and getting to see them interact with each other again. Like, it's great, but it's the least good Daredevil season in my opinion.
Did they retain the tone of the Netflix show?
Yes and no. I mean, they certainly tried to, and in some ways they achieved it. In other ways they failed. Some ways it went further in weird moments, in other places not far enough. It was a mixed bag. It was a mixed bag, but that first season's showrunners, they're out, and Benson and Moorhead, I think, are taking more charge second season, and I have confidence that the next season will probably be better.
Frank Castle in there?
We get a little Frank. Not as much as you'd like. Not as much as you would like, but you get some. Other stuff that I watched, I love me some Nathan Lane, and I love me some Golden Girls. So the concept of, and I love me some Cheers. So the concept of a Golden Girls kind of thing, only with gay older men, with Nathan Lane, Nathan Lee Graham, and Matt Bomer, and all directed by James Burrows, who was like the main director of Cheers, as you guys well know. And this sitcom is on Hulu, and it's really a throwback. I mean, you got a live studio audience, really cheap fucking sets. It's all filmed like a classic sitcom, just like cheap as shit. And at the same time, it's like, it's 3 older gay guys. They go to Fire Island. They make jokes about fisting. They say fuck and the C word, and like it is like raunchy and raw and funny, and it takes a few episodes to get going, and once it gets good, it gets pretty good. I really enjoyed mid-century modern. If you like that kind of stuff, it was 10 episodes, blurred through it in like a weekend, because you pretty much do that pretty easily. 22-minute episodes or whatever, 30-minute episodes. So
old
I would
sitcoms
recommend
had 25 episodes. What the hell, man?
Yeah, things have changed, but I definitely look forward to the second season because it seems like it's been a success, and they haven't announced the second season yet, but it looks like they're going to probably. So I'd recommend mid-century modern. Lastly, the show that everyone's talking about that I loved intensely is The Pitt. It was some of the best TV I've watched in a while. If it were it not for Shogun last year, I'd say I don't know. We've been in like the golden age of television for like 25 years. So to say it's one of the best shows I've watched in a while seems meaningless. I'm gonna have to give it like a few years. But we're so used to HBO being able to deliver like premiere television, like that gripping, like must-watch kind of television, with a huge cast of people that they're able to balance well. Think like The Wire or Game of Thrones with all the sprawling casts, but you get to know them all. So this is an ER show. This is an ER show, and Noah Wyle is back, and I fucking guarantee this man's going to win an Emmy, a Golden Globe for this shit. This is the best work of his career. He's incredible
ER?
in it.
Yeah,
Noah Wyle.
Dr. Carter.
So they tried suing, like Michael Crichton's wife tried suing them for like you took ER. This is an ER sequel. Like, no, it's not. It's just got Noah Wyle. It's an ER show, and it's 15 episodes, hour apiece, over a 15-hour shift. So you're spending time with this one shift.
No way.
Like three doctors at first day, and it's like it's intense. And sometimes it feels a little bit networky, a little bit predictable, but overall, it is. Think of like must see TV, but like on steroids, like for today, like absolutely upgraded, and like, I mean, it was like it's a hard watch. I tried binging it, and like I pretty much could do 2 or 3 episodes at a time, and I get emotionally worn out, and I couldn't fucking do it because it was just like it's too much. And I've talked to a bunch of people, like my sister-in-law who's a nurse, and a bunch of people who in the medical field, who all say like this is like the most realistic medical drama they've ever seen.
I gotta get on.
That's him.
Love it. That's him. Yeah, 8.9 right now on IMDb. Look at that
beard. It doesn't even look like him. If you're watching our YouTube version, holy shit, it's crazy.
Yeah, he is. It's you guys. I think everyone's gonna like this show. It's one of those shows. I think it's like one of those shows that's gonna be one to stick around for a while.
Christian said it was amazing. I'm on it.
Yeah,
I
loved it too.
Episode 1.
Let's do it.
It's good. It's
good.
Good.
Damn, dude.
Good sell. Sold it well, Travis. Thank you so much.
I'm excited. I'm already getting ready to watch it again. I think I might do it twice.
Slowly though.
Yeah,
must see TV on steroids. Wow. I didn't watch anything. Michael?
I watched the movie, and I snuck in some YouTube stuff here and there. I will say I'll use my time I watched this is really happening, and now the trailer's out for The Naked Gun. This is really happening, and I am just I mean, it's just one of my favorite comedies ever, if not my favorite, and I'm really going to be there. I'm going to definitely see this, but I am skeptical that this is going to work with Liam Neeson, and they're already cracking jokes in the trailer in a way that makes it look like they get it. But I don't know. I can't believe it's actually going to happen here in August, so it's just blowing my mind that it's real.
I'm looking forward to it, man.
Me too. I'm gonna watch it real quick, but I'm just really questioning that this is gonna fly. Frank Drebin, played by Leslie Nielsen, is very, very hard to top. But if it could do its own thing, that's cool too. You know, they remade RoboCop. I didn't think that worked out all that well. Was it a piece of shit?
No.
No.
Well, it didn't work out that well. But there was that Fletch sequel that was really good. So you never know.
I love the Fletch sequel. Yeah, with John Hamm. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they've recast Harry Potter for 10 years of John Lithgow as Dumbledore. So there you go. Look forward to that. Settle in. I don't know if he's going to make it. He's 79. He's got to do 10 years. But, I mean, these days people are living longer. So
he did say it's probably going to be the last thing he did in his career.
Yeah. He also said it was a really tough decision because this will really basically take up the rest of my life. He essentially said that. I'm like, this is what you're going to do. Oh, all right. Well, could enjoy time with family. Yeah,
I might watch it just because of that. Because if that's all I'm going to get from him for the rest of his life, I guess I'm watching the Harry Potter show.
I'll be curious to see it. But yeah, there you go. There's some things I noted in the entertainment world. And we are the Cinema Nine Podcast. We talk entertainment. We talk movies. We share ideas. I did a quick tribute to Nicky Cat on our YouTube. You want to go check that out? Farewell. Top 3 Nicky Cat movies. You guys want to jump in real quick? I did Suburbia and Boiler Room and Days of Confused were 3 clips I chose.
I mean, Suburbia, obviously, for me.
We did on the show, by the way, long ago.
Yeah, we did. Sin City, I love him in Sin City. He's so funny in that.
Oh, yeah.
Despite the swastika that he's sporting through the whole thing.
Yeah, well, it's the character. But yeah, I forgot about that.
Swastika.
He's in Insomnia as well, but it's a smaller role, but he's in there. So
yeah, the
makes
Burbs.
A lame joke about blowjobs.
The Burbs, a friend. I'm gonna go grab some Mickey D's.
Yeah,
man. He's
dude,
all
this
bummed
party
out.
sucks.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It was probably the Burbs. But I was trying to think. What movie was he like a hitman? Like met people in a bar.
Was that one of the
ringing any
horrible
bells?
bosses, or is that something else?
Was that? Yeah, was that?
I don't know.
Was that him in that? I don't know.
Yeah.
I remember Jamie Foxx was the dude in the bar in Horrible.
Oh,
Bosses.
right, yeah. A lot of people said, "Hey, the Boston Public star has passed away." I'm like, I never saw fucking Boston Public. Oh, he's in The Way of the Gun. I forgot about that role. I would have put that in the clip if I had looked at. I just did it
That
off the
was
top
the
of my head
thing.
when I made the video. Damn it!
That was the thing with him, is he just popped up in these super memorable little cameos everywhere. He started acting when he was 7 years old, so
Right.
like he knew people all through Hollywood and just pop up here and there for
If he could've
years.
just got that one like season regular in his older years to finally get him the notice he deserves. Been a nice way to round things out.
I
Maybe
guess
he
Secondhand
wasn't-
Lions didn't do it.
Maybe he wasn't that committed. I mean, maybe he wasn't that into it. I don't know. Like, it seems to me
Yeah.
like he was a pretty talented guy that could have gone further, and to be working it as long as he did, like maybe he didn't want to do too much. I mean, it's hard to say. Who knows? Or he had
Oh,
other
he was in The
issues that kept him
Limey.
from doing it. Who knows? Yeah, I'm trying to remember him in the Limey, and I don't.
Yeah, I don't remember that part either. But anyway, Nicky Cat's gone. So long. Another actor who entertained us, and that's the best part about being an actor, is you can leave a legacy on film for all time. So
Yep.
check
Stick
that out
around
on YouTube.
here. Stick around here at Death Watch 9.
Death Watch 9. We got you covered. Hey, Nicky Cat. Hey, we're gonna miss you, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into our main focus tonight, which is the Basketball Diaries, as selected by Eric Brandstrom. That's right. We're doing a Leo DiCaprio movie. Have we?
Oh boy, you know what?
Have we?
First,
It's the first starring role.
is it? No.
It has to be.
Could it be?
Uh,
Could it
yeah,
I think
possibly
it
be?
might be.
I think it is. We've done no Marty
Wow.
movies.
Yeah,
We've done, this has to be it.
That's wild.
that is wild. I just thought of that now. So
insane.
our first Leo movie, well overdue. Eric picked it. Take us back in time, Eric. You got Mark Wahlberg, Leonardo DiCaprio, a little bit of Michael Imperioli, Lorraine Bracco. Where did all of it start for you? Because you had to be of a certain age to watch this movie, so I assume it was maybe a little bit after that came out in 95, or maybe it was that year. I don't know. Maybe he broke out.
Hold on. Quick death note. Bruno Kirby, R.I.P. He's dead now.
Oh, shit. Right, of course. Sorry.
Yep.
Bruno.
Okay, shocker. I'd never seen this movie. I'd never seen the Basketball Diaries. Never seen
No.
it. I saw that poster.
Wow.
I saw that poster of him against that wall looking at me. Was a huge Leo fan my whole life. Never hit play.
Holy shit. Wow.
Never, ever.
Okay.
Like
Never
right
seen
now.
Yep.
No
Well,
nostalgia factor.
I'm here prepared, but I had never seen it until yesterday.
Wow.
I'm going in with zero nostalgia factor. This is the perfect way for a co-host to come into this film.
Well, I'm coming in the opposite direction, and I mean, I saw this in theaters, owned the box copy,
Oh,
watched it over and over again. I watched this one a ton. I kind of puzzle over that now a little bit. Like, I watched this
Sure.
over and over again. It's
Sleepers effect.
it's a bummer, man. It's a bummer of a film. But I watched it a whole bunch. It had that hip soundtrack. It had Leo, who I liked even before Titanic, and it had stuff in it I thought was cool. So I watched the fuck out of this movie. And then I turned 18, 19 probably, and never watched it again until last night.
all the
Last
people
night-
that died.
By the way, my dog got like really sick at the very end of the movie. Like, I almost had to take her to the emergency vet. It
Oh.
was pretty scary. She's doing okay now. I got an appointment for her to take her in tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. And she's doing okay. She's like totally recovered, but I got to find out what the source was, but that was not the funnest way to break up a movie, because I ended up actually not watching it all last night. I came home and watched like the last half hour today.
Oh, wow.
That's my story. Yeah, but she's okay.
Oh, okay.
She's right next to me.
Yay! Okay, that's good news. I saw this movie, probably saw it at your house. I saw it with somebody in a VHS, so did not
probably
get to
mine.
see it in the theater. I'm almost sure it was. Or maybe somehow we had a copy at home. Someone, maybe DiBiase picked one up in the bargain bin on his way home from work one day. Miserably driving home in that green Tahoe, pulling up the long driveway. We have 10 seconds to hide before we got to the garage. Yeah. So quick, put Basketball Diaries back in its case. We got to get out of here. But I watched it a lot. There was probably a gap where maybe I didn't watch it for a few years, but
Wow.
I'll definitely watch this movie at least once or twice a year still. But maybe I haven't watched it. Yeah, wow. I mean, I watched this movie a lot more, especially after I went through my own drug thing. I thought it was like a new perspective too. I was like, oh, okay. So, but I don't watch it like every week, but I think I watched it maybe 8 to 10 months ago. But I'm here to talk about it, so let's do it. Rating on this film? Some heavy hitters, some young and up and comers in this movie.
The fuck?
This film is banned in some places. Some people might have strong feelings against it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There's a certain scene in there that might make you realize why it was not readily available to stream if you stop and think about it.
Yeah.
But so I'm going to say the sixes. I'm going to say 6.7.
Oh, okay. Now we know what you're talking about. People love this movie. 7.1.
Yeah, I would say it's a 7.5. You know, I feel like people, Leo's so famous now that even if they didn't see it right away, they went back and watched it. So 7.3 is the rating with almost 130,000 reviews. So that's decent. People are, wherever they're finding it, they are watching it. Over on Fart Tomatoes, we got, check this out, a total splat, 45% for the critics. Shit to them. 76 to the audience. Huge gap on this one. Yeah, 45 to 76.
Insane.
Let's see why the critics were so upset about this or displeased. How about QV Hogue? Right. No, I'm not doing QV Hogue. I'm bailing on that one.
Fuck off, QV.
Recent. Let's go back in time with Owen Gleiberman of Entertainment Weekly long ago. He said, for those few soul-freezing moments, you get a glimpse of the great actor Leonardo DiCaprio is going to be.
Yeah.
A lot of drooling.
I miss the old Leo voice. Remember, you used to have that really teenagey voice all the time.
His balls,
that voice.
Spends the entire movie just yelling at Mickey.
Reggie!
Yeah. Mickey, why you gotta do that? Mickey, why do you do that? Man, what the fuck? Jonathan Rosenbaum of the Chicago Reader.
Of course.
Significantly, the movie keeps the hero's reformation off screen as well as unexplained. It's more interested in shock effects than in candor or elucidation.
And then I got better. The end.
Yep, I did notice that this time around.
It did the same thing at the front end though too, because it was like, oh, this is cocaine. Then the next scene, like, son, I don't want to live like this. You're an addict, and he's like immediately like all fucked up. But he's like he tried coke, and now he's immediately an addict.
That's what happened. Did I ever tell you about the first time into heroin? Yeah, then he strung out with Lorraine Bracco in the bathroom in the next scene. Yeah, that's, I don't know. They jumped ahead. Peter Travers, Rolling Stone, our old pal. You leave the Basketball Diaries believing that Leonardo DiCaprio can do anything. But it's still a splat. Thanks for the clarity, Pete.
Sounds like he didn't like the movie, but liked the performance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think if he would have said that, yeah. But you got it. You got the
Maybe
gist.
he did elsewhere. Remember, we're always just getting like one blurb out of a whole fucking essay.
That's true. We do need to keep that in mind. Good point. Roger Ebert checked in, of course. He was in his prime.
Alive.
Will there ever be a market for a movie about a character who hurries past his drug phase because he can't wait to tell you what he did after he pulled his act together? Probably not. I don't care what Luke says. He's a good reviewer. And Joe Brown of the Washington Post said, a movie for masochists, an unrelenting, ugly, just say no propaganda movie. It might have been bankrolled by Nancy Reagan.
Yeah, I wrote that down. Bankrolled by Nancy Reagan.
Imagine her doing that. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, show us one of the schools.
I think that's a little unfair, but whatever. How about one tomato that's red, just to get a red one? Because these are all splats.
Yeah. Got to.
How about Hal Hal Hinson from the Washington Post. DiCaprio goes as far into the hell of drug abuse as any actor ever has and comes out a star.
All right. I wish I could make that noise. That's as close as I can get.
That's pretty good. All right, so yeah, it's a movie about drug use. It's based on a true story. One of those movies, right? Jim Carroll's a real person who has a scene where he gets to talk about that smell of the candles. Smells like dope cooking up. So
dude,
there you go.
You're a recovered addict. And you want to sit there and have a scene where you're like cooking up and talking about how much you love the ritual. Like this dude must have nerves of steel by this point.
Usually the real person will play like the group leader during the talk in the gym with all the people in therapy.
Not Jim Carroll.
Not Jim Carroll.
All the people that dad. The song is great. It's a great song. It's fun. It's catchy. I will admit it. I like the music in this movie. I like that guitar work. I like his music. It's moody and it's kind of right up my alley.
There's some good other bands on there too. That Posey song is really good.
They blew the budget on the fucking Doors. I wrote that down as a note. I'm like, how much of the budget was blown on Riders on the Storm?
Which any song would have been fine. Didn't need to be that one.
It didn't. You're right.
There's some choices made in this movie that sometimes, so the Jim Carroll scene, like that is such a clearly like, okay, look, we need a cameo for Jim. Let's write this in. It does not do anything. It's fine because the movie has quite a few scenes like that. But when you have quite a few scenes like that, plus a lot of scenes with the snot and the drool and the crying and the screaming and the sobbing, it does kind of start to feel a little bit like filler when you also have stuff like we just mentioned that's kind of like missing. Like where is that?
Yep.
Well, it's directed by Scott Calvert,
the great Scott Calvert, who could forget his other films that
who could forget his 10 Marky Mark music videos?
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Hey, got Marky a career, and he earns it, man. He does really good in this movie, I think.
Mark?
Yeah, I think Mark Wahlberg's great in this movie.
Yeah,
I mean, like he's very, very good in the role. You know, like I think he kills it.
I think this is the role that got him fear. Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah. Let me in the fucking house.
He was fucking great in it, if you ask me. This was his first role. Natural. Yeah. He was fucking great in the film. And
it's probably one of the best performances of his whole career.
Wow.
They got worse.
That's kind of what I'm saying.
Now, do I believe he's 15? No. Do I believe Michael Imperioli's 14? No. It was 14.
There's all kinds of shit screwy. You know, Jim Carroll was born in 1949. He was getting shenanigans in the early 60s.
See, this is what I don't understand. I'm like, is this the 60s into the 70s?
My biggest note, what the fuck time period is this?
It's the late 70s, early 90s.
Oh, these modern cars are contemporary cars all over the place in the film. Throughout the film. They're referencing fucking Black Hawk Down going down in Mogadishu, like loudly.
They did?
Like, yeah, like I don't know what they're pulling here.
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to be set like in the early I think it's supposed to be set like when it came out, like sort of
updated it, but
like
kept his own autobiography. It's fucking weird.
It's a little weird.
There's a lot of things about that. Again, we have back-to-back movies with terrible basketball sequences. We're just not done properly. First off, there's only like 5 guys on this team. A regular basketball team has like 10 to 12 players. There's a whole bench of people that don't play. So when they do the team huddle, let's win this for Bobby. It's just weird that it looks like a couple of guys got together to be the high school basketball team. It's very odd to me. Minor detail. I will say some of the layups and stuff look good, but these guys are supposed to be getting recruited. Neutron and Jim Carroll are supposed to be recruited as like legit college players. None of these guys are tall at all. Yeah, best in New York. I know it's a different time. Again, I don't know what time it was exactly, but if I had to guess, it was the 60s or 70s. Yes, it still wasn't the time we have today for NBA caliber players, but that annoyed me, and it's 2 straight basketball disappointments, I must say. So, minor detail.
It's also 2 movies in a row with Toby Huss. Toby Huss shows up as Mark Wahlberg's brother to break his arm in this one, and he was the book agent at the end of World's Greatest Dad.
The Wiz. All right. They're
There he
bringing me
is. There
back. By the way, Island, did that? I thought Island Records was just like a records thing. I've never seen that Island opening. They did a movie once and then they quit their movie biz, or
Oh, they had to push that soundtrack.
Maybe.
oh, that's true. Maybe that was part of it. That's a good point. I also wrote down best opening ever. I do like it. It's succinct and to the point. Hey, lady, shut up.
That's abrupt.
It is. Maybe the most abrupt opening ever. There you go. That's better.
Yeah. It's
Also, I wrote down the words. I don't know what. Now I don't remember why I wrote this.
puked on big pussy. Ugh, why did
I wrote pussy puke. Pussy puke. Now I remember. Yeah.
These
Big
are,
pussy Bop and Sarah got puked on.
yeah, big pussy Bob Sarah. Yeah, there he is.
They did. Yeah.
Popping up in a New York film.
Teenage assholes running wild, the movie. I mean, imagine in this time frame too, by the way, if it is the 70s, this is a very violent and scary time to be in New York City. Just saying, if it is the 70s. And even in the 60s, I mean, a little bit better, but I do think they captured, like, hey, friends running around who are teenagers without a care in the world quite well, because teenage boys can be massive pricks. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but
Fully.
Yeah, I mean, there's that scene early on in the movie where like his mom makes him breakfast and she's like trying to impart words of wisdom about like you need some responsibility and that kind of stuff, and he just like refuses the food, like he refuses the wisdom, and that's a lot of. I mean, so like on one hand, there's that like there's the shit that they push away, and then on the other hand, you got like a coach who's supposed to be a guide who is clearly corrupt as fuck and just evil pervert, and then you have like the church, which is, if they're not smacking your ass, he's like literally goes there and like he's like trying to tell like actually confess, and they're like they boil it down to like the most basic shit, and he's like that's it, that's my whole punishment. What the fuck, like so he's failed on other ends too.
that's a great point. I hadn't considered that aspect of the film. You're right. So he's running free in a massive city. He's only got his mom, and even mom's having a hard time with it. And by the way, I feel like Lorraine Bracco's wasted in this movie to a certain extent. She's in it, but she's like, Jam! That's all you get. You don't get like, they could have done much more with an actress of her caliber.
She's convincing in the scenes that she's in.
Oh, she is.
That scene where he's like in the door and like reaching through, that's a pretty powerful scene. She's like where she's holding his hand, but then afraid of him at the same time. It's a pretty emotional scene.
Good.
That's
Played really well
hard.
by both of them. Yeah.
Dealing with somebody who's addicted to drugs, and you try to help and that you can't help, and then you do help and it still doesn't change anything. I mean, it's brutal. That it does encapsulate that. I actually think this movie, for some of the weird shit and unclear messages and time frames, it does a pretty good job of establishing what addiction could be like and what a nightmare it can be, but also the impact it has on other people. And, we haven't mentioned Ernie Hudson's in this movie playing Reggie as this guy who, tries to pay it forward like someone paid forward for him long ago. And those scenes are intense, man. I mean, Leo's whining. I mean, he is going all in on it. And Reggie's like, suck this dick, God damn it. That makes me laugh every time he says that, by the way. Nobody wants just...
He's just trying to tuck his shirt in. Clearly just trying to tuck his shirt in.
I mean, dude, when I saw the great Ernie Hudson in person last year at Comic-Con, and I looked and admonished his incredible 77-year-old body, the guy looks fucking amazing. I really wish I could have walked up to him and commented on this performance. He's fucking great. And you know what, dude? This dude had a great run in the fucking night. And the Rocks Cradle, who could forget Solomon?
Airheads?
The Crow, Airheads. What, dude?
Ghostbusters 2.
Sure.
Sure.
But yeah, I'm pushing back on Lorraine Bracco. She does great. She plays the enabler perfectly, man. Like she does it perfectly. Holding the money.
You're missing the point, though. It's not her performance. No. It's what she's given to do. It's not her fault. That's what I'm saying. She does a great.
If she would have like proselytized, we would have been like lame. If she would have done anything else except. Well,
she could have been a mother who was like engaging and like, look, I get it. And she could explain more about her background. We don't get any information on what she's been through, what it's like to be her at all. That's what I need. That's what I would have liked a little bit more of. I know it's not her movie, but not that she had to solve anything. I just wanted to get some more, hey, I've been through this, so let's talk about this. I get it, Jim. I get the hard times. But maybe that's Not how it was back then either. So this is just the way it's
Depending on
supposed
if
to be.
this is a woman of the 60s or the mid 90s who
Or
say
depending.
like what her life experience was. That might just been it. Just a mother trying to do her best.
We can't pinpoint it for sure. Yes.
Cliff diving into raw sewage.
That really freaked me out, man. That took me back to West Virginia when I had to jump off a cliff. I accidentally climbed up and got myself stuck there. And I was there for an hour and a half and horning and Aaron and everybody's yelling at me like, come on, dude, we're hungry. And I'm stuck like 50 feet up in the air because I climbed up it, but I couldn't get down because I had to jump.
I had to fast forward it for like 20 minutes waiting for you to jump. Like, is Mike even going to jump? Am I watching this for nothing?
It's scary shit, man. But I did it. And Pedro did it too. He was scared, but he did it. And they all didn't get pink eye or any type of
he got a head
diphtheria.
wound somehow, which is like very much ADR to like to explain why his head is bleeding when he shows up in someone's house, I guess.
Winky and
But
Blinky?
that seems unsafe to have a head wound in like a poop river. But I want to go back to a scene, a moment that you referenced earlier in the film, Mike, which to me is like one of the highlights of the movie was like this moment where I'm like, this is one of those things where I don't know that it was in the script, probably not, maybe a director's choice, but I think it was an editing choice, ultimately, where he's like, it's all the people who died are like running around in the rain and playing basketball in the rain and stuff, and it's like, Bobby just died. It's pretty much the last moments that he has before he goes off the deep end, because the grief clearly shoves him into addiction and like into depression, which is what ultimately is the motivator behind addiction. And he throughout the movie, like he's talking about most of the time that's important to him is basketball, and basketball is like what a lot of his identity is wrapped around and makes him feel good about himself and all that kind of stuff. And there's this shot where he's like in the rain and like he's hanging, he just like dunked or whatever, he's like hanging from the rim and like screaming like he's some big tough guy when he's not a scrawny fucking 19-year-old, but whatever. But the moment he lets go of the rim and drops into darkness is when the voiceover says, "Ever tell you about the first time I did heroin?" And it's such like a great moment that like just that image encapsulates so much of the story. Like he's literally letting go of basketball and like plunging into darkness. It's just a really great visual metaphor.
Good call.
I did like. Come on, Mike, you're being a little harsh on the basketball in this film. I like the that sequence. You weren't buying those moves.
Look, I mean, the basketball in the rain's fun because it's just fucking around. I don't think he could dunk, though, unless it was not a 10-foot rim. Over at Village Elementary, we used to play over there in high school because they had 8 or 9-foot rims, and we thought we were superstars. That was fun because we couldn't jump. So I get that, but you're right. That's a good moment, Travis. I hadn't thought about it like that. I was too focused on no pulling your peckers before the game. That was a nice quote, Bruno Kirby. So he's a pederast who makes sense because he's a coach at a Catholic school.
When he offers the money and then offers more money, it's god! You find this boy who's your charge, and like you see that he's in trouble, and your instinct is to exploit it. It's so gross, and evil.
It's raw. The movie's raw as fuck like that, and the other scene with the school scene, that you literally have the Columbine thing mirror what happened there with trench coats and guns, which is crazy.
That's why the filmmakers got sued.
Right? It doesn't seem like a coincidence, right?
It could have been partially inspiring, sure, but I mean, it's hard to say.
It is hard to say.
It wasn't the Columbine people that sued. It was the parents of the 1997 Heath High shooting, which was a little bit smaller, but still. Like, while we're there, let's talk about this scene, right? Like, shot like a fucking action movie. The buddies are all cheering and like all that stuff. It's very sadistic.
Yeah.
Serves zero function in the film, does not advance the plot in any way, shape, or form.
No.
And it's partly why the movie's really hard to find now. Like, I'm like, to me, I'm like, for filmmaking purposes and for moral purposes, why not just recut this thing with this minute and a half, this meaningless minute and a half taken out?
He looks good in that black leather jacket. I can't deny that. Like, it looks like a music video because he was a music video guy.
Yeah, it's supposed to look cool.
Makes all the sense of the world. But you're right; it serves no purpose. I'm not one who thinks that people do violence because they see it in movies. We live in a violent world. We don't need movies to tell us that there's violence out there already. But yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, if that could get rid of it and then this would be more accessible, good call. But maybe someone's stubborn about it. Leo's like, I chose it. I'm doing that. It's just maybe it's also similar to that movie he did where you can't find it, where like him and the Pussy Posse are basically saying all this terrible shit that they actually would do or would try to do. You know that movie I'm talking about, the one that Leo did.
Yeah.
It's like this Eve's Plum or whatever it is. Like
Don's Plum.
Don's Plum.
Don's Plum.
Yeah. They claimed they thought they were making a short film that was going to be like no one would see it. And the guy was a full length film.
This movie's like that. It's just as hard to find. It's weird.
Yeah, that's a tricky one because I'm watching it. I'm like, oh man, he looks good. He looks damn good. I'm like, oh man, I like the way they're doing these shotgun effects, and it's creepy how the friends are cheering him on. Then you're right. I'm like, what is this? Like, what is the point of this? No, like, he doesn't have that huge of a vendetta against his peers, except maybe the schmucks that he's already taken care of and is confident with his power over. So he's lame.
Yeah, it's actually kind of lame. It's just like jerking off.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not even set against the backdrop of poetry. There's no not even a creative comment there. It's just like, this looks cool. Let's shoot it. I don't know. Dumb.
Yeah, it detracts.
What about the poetry? So obviously his whole focus, he writes a lot. Is the poetry good? Does it suck? Does it matter? I want to hear about everybody on the poetry.
Oh God!
I saw him give spoken word poetry live once at the Blind Pig in Ann Arbor.
Shit.
That was affecting, like to hear him speak his own shit and like be in a crowd. Like, that was cool. It felt cool. I don't remember how much I loved the poetry. It was kind of more like, I was like, oh, Jim Carroll's there. Like, shit, yeah. The poetry that we get in this film, which is directly shit that came from the diary that he wrote when he was like 12 to 16 years old. So, I mean, we got to expect it to be somewhat facile, but also noteworthy enough that it launched a career and this movie. So, like, I think it's appropriate. It's fine. It's mostly fine. There's no points where I'm like, this sucks.
I was rolling my eyes. I mean, it feels a little puerile. I mean, it definitely feels like written by a 12 to 15-year-old kid. And without the Jim Carroll band and without the story of overcoming drug addiction, do we have like great work that should still be recognized to this? I don't know. I was rolling my eyes.
Rest in peace,
wishy-washy. Yeah, sorry, buddy. Wishy-washy for me. I could go. Sometimes I was like, oh, that makes sense. Other times I'm like, that's trash. And that's just how poetry goes sometimes too.
Plus, I didn't really. They didn't sell me him as a writer. Like, he was writing in scenes, but like I wasn't getting any aura of like passion or creativity from him. I was just like looking at him write on his bed. You know what I mean? I wasn't seeing. Needed more.
Life sure moves fast when you're jerking off.
Yep. Yeah, there goes my quote for the end of the episode.
Oh! Also,
it happens.
So he visits Jimmy in the hospital, played by Michael Imperioli, who's got leukemia.
14.
Doing his best Powder impression, Bobby, right? And
looked at 65 when he died. He was a friend of mine.
He was. That's right. And they talk about beat-off records. Now, I was a teenage boy once, and I knew all of you guys. Beat-off records were a thing. I had
rookie numbers. 7?
I know.
Give me some Tomset numbers.
Rookie fucking numbers, man.
Oh,
Don't be going around bragging about 7.
That really took me back because that's how infantile and simple we were, but it was funny. But yeah, it's nice to see Michael Imperioli in a movie, his first movie, or no, he did Goodfellas, but
sure.
So speaking
and
role,
do the right thing,
do the right thing, right? So, but nice to see him. Good job. He dies. He passes away. It sucks. And that's pretty much it.
He's good in the role. That scene where he's in the strip club and like he's not looking at the stripper's body, he's looking at her face and like seeing how like not into this she is, and he's just like his like he shows young too that like this dude's got a lot of talent.
Yeah, you're right. By the way, I've seen scenes like maybe Donnie Brasco, some other New York movie set in the 70s, if this is the time it was set in, where this same Peep Show place shows up, I swear. Or like somebody gets blown away. Oh, it's Oh, the one, the
Bunch of
Saints,
movies.
the Boondock Saints. There's like it looks just like that same. I'm like, is this got to be the same place? Somebody found this. It's been reused in movies before. I swear, I've never been to a peep show place like that in my life, but I've seen that place more than once.
I think there's only so many variations on that theme.
Maybe there is. I don't know where
It
peep
looks
show
like the
places
same
are.
one. It looks like the same one in Paris, Texas, too, to me. So I don't know.
Juliette Lewis is in the movie as well.
She is.
Strong work.
What's her deal?
You fucking Larry King now, Mike? Juliette Lewis. What's her deal?
I don't know exactly what I'm trying to say here, but I wanted to bring it up because, like,
Wait,
yeah,
deal with
she's
her or with the character?
just her overall as an actress. She's been in a lot of stuff, but I don't know if I really like her work or not. There's something about her that's always been off-putting, but she also plays roles where she is off-putting.
That might be
I
it.
don't know.
Let's make anyone comfortable, Mike.
I think
She
she's kind of
does.
a fearless actor.
Never
She's a
been,
fearless actor, man. I think that's what it is.
Funniest performances. Like pretty much all of her roles are pretty drab, deadpan, sardonic character. So I don't know.
That's true. Yeah.
She
Just wondering.
plays some pretty like raw people pretty often. I think she's pretty unafraid, and I like that about her.
Yeah. She's a Gilbert Grape with Leo, and then of course she had just done Natural Born Killers, so she's got a.
Which also got
our old pal. What happened to that guy? What was that guy's name?
Who
Yeah, we had on. Your pal, the guy from Cleveland who did the other sister. Remember?
Cosimo.
So.
AJ Cosimo. Yeah.
Hey, Jake. I don't know if you're still out there. Seems like a lifetime ago. But I don't know. I just wonder what you guys think of her. Obviously, she's a well-respected actress who's done a lot of great work in her career. She baffles me. And I'm not sure why.
I'll say I like her more as a supporting actor. Not always as not my favorite lead.
Yeah. Very raunchy for the drug use. They picked like the worst Skid Row that ever existed. I don't know if that actually did or not, but he did live it, so maybe that did. It was New York, and things were getting grimy whenever this took place, so who knows? I guess I could buy that. I also, is that Brandy, one of the Winkies or Blinky from Joe Dirt, right? Did you think that? Is that her?
Was that what? I think you're right. I totally knew she was familiar and meant to look up who it was, and then forgot to. But I think you nailed it.
She just looks so different than Brandy does in Joe Dirt, but I'm like, I think that's her. And of course, I could have looked it up, but
yeah, we still could, but it's fine. It's probably her. Looked like her. You catch
So the
Josh
other part-
Josh Mostella's in this.
yeah,
Get the burgers thrown back at him and by Swifty.
I wrote something about that guy. Yeah, there he is, principal from
Josh
Billy
Mostel.
Madison. Love Josh Mostel. That's great.
Zero Mostell's son.
I had one other comment here or question to you guys about. So we talked about the poetry. What about the narration? You know, narration can be tricky. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But it's a book or like a story based around his writings and his experiences, so he has to be involved in it, right?
I could think of two great actors like Robert De Niro and Harrison Ford, who are wonderful actors and shitty narrators. and Leonardo DiCaprio showed at an early age that he could do it, because I didn't think about his narration one time as I was listening to it. Not really, you know what I mean? Like I didn't get pulled out of the movie the way that I do when I'm listening to Harrison Ford or Robert De Niro do it, because they just aren't very good at it. It's a different kind of skill. It's a different kind of acting. And that I didn't think much about it, I think suggests that he did a good job. You're laughing. I'm right, right?
Blade Runner, the worst voiceover.
Where am I going? How long have I got?
I got to sign a case a couple weeks ago. Yeah, I don't know.
When's lunch?
I'm always got my ears pricked up with narration to see if they're just explaining what I'm seeing or if they're being clever with the dialogue. And there's some nice wordplay here. And Leo did 20 years old. He's 20 years old. He's doing good narration. His performance is incredible. He sells the entire movie. It carries it on his shoulders, man. I'm shocked that I had never seen this. And we're coming off Gilbert Grape. He's just God, he's been doing this for like fucking 35 years. It's incredible.
I do think that the scene in the basketball court, like when he's like throws his beer against the chain link fence, it's like, you guys don't understand. You guys don't understand. I was like, that wasn't great. There were a few moments like that in the movie where I'm like, oh, Leo's learning to act. Look at him learn to act. We're in acting school. But overall, overall, especially once he gets into the really nitty gritty hard work of the film, like he does it with absolute abandon. Like he is completely embroiled in the role, and not taking any, not holding back at all. So I mean, he's a fearless guy as well, another fearless actor, and he shows it at a young age here. So overall, great work, but like, it's not the kind of work that he would do later on. He would be more measured and more nuanced, I think, as he got older.
Music video direction. This guy, Scott Calvert, I think he did one other film, Deuces Wild, Stephen Dorff after this, and that was it. Hung up his hat.
Dorff.
Direction in this movie. I mean, you mentioned a pretty good shot, Travis. For the most, I was shaking my head on this one. These lame fade outs are straight out of a fucking after special.
Yeah, those are bad. I liked the scene in Reggie's apartment after Reggie leaves, and like Reggie leaves, I'm like, why the fuck isn't he gonna just leave too and go get? Oh, first he's gonna ransack his apartment. And I like the way the camera like kind of speeds up as it's going around and round and round the apartment as he starts looking, and then once he's gone, it's completely spinning out of control. I thought that was, heavy-handed, but it was motivated. It told the story. The camera work.
Yep, that's true.
I think you saw that Everclear video, whatever. Fuck what they did.
Everlast.
How about video?
What Sings the Blues? Is that what we're talking?
Something like that.
Michael Rappaport pops in this movie for a second too.
Yes.
Yeah, Valdeport.
Yeah. Like, was that Bobby come back to life? Oh shit. Wow.
Yeah.
And by the way, Imperioli was 29 years old in this movie. Good God, it's crazy.
Yeah. Not a 15-year-old.
Jesus.
Oh boy.
Oh, excellent Wilhelm scream when like the most,
I didn't catch
maybe
it.
the most elongated one. It's when Marky Mark's character kills that guy.
I gotta correct you. Yeah, it's not the Wilhelm, but it's like a fan favorite scream. It's like the number 2 favorite, like big scream. Like, I forget the name of it, but it's not the Wilhelm.
Got its own name.
It's got its own name. Like a big.
Yeah, very good.
Scream, but yeah.
Oh, I think I know the name of it, and I think it's racist as fuck if it's the one I'm thinking of.
Shit.
Maybe not. But I want to go back to Bruno Kirby before we wrap this up, because I think that he was another one that was a really good actor, and like another guy that we talked about him when we did Sleepers. This guy would do fucking anything.
Yeah.
He could be the best friend, like Harry and When Harry Met Sally kind of best friend stuff. Or he could take on a role like this and just be the slimiest, skeeviest. Like when some dude fucking pays to blow Leo. Okay. When some dude pays to blow Leo, and Leo's like in the stall, like and Swifty comes up, like, and when he creeps, like when he comes around like he peeps around the thing, and he's like just like king of the creeps. Bruno Kirby does that so well, and by all accounts was a perfectly nice guy. But I like that he was the kind of actor that he'd do anything, man. He was shameless, fearless for the third time.
He was. Yep.
Shit. Okay. Well, geez, you guys seen this millions of times. I don't know. I am curious. Like, we talk all the time about how I'm different now, and I've aged, and I'm looking back. So I'm very curious, you guys here. I'm coming in as a first timer, and if you guys are ready to kind of close the curtain, I don't know, man. Mostly it's the fact that, like, we've already talked about it. Like, he's like, "What, drugs? Cool, I'll check it out." And then the very next scene, he's like fucking like got the white lips, and he's like, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, we don't even get like the fun scene. Like you look at a movie like Requiem, who does an incredible job with a story about addiction and the desperation and the horrificness nature of it. But it's
we've also done
a nice amount of time with the kids reveling in the drug and showing it as like something that can be a positive thing temporarily, right? We don't really spend enough time seeing him kind of enjoy this lifestyle. It goes right into it, and that's when it starts to like kind of like go into the mires of after school special for me. So that opening, that was rough. And then the ending, where it's literally just like drugs are bad, should have just popped up on the screen before it ended. I was like shaking my head and waggling my finger. But just like these other critics on Rotten Tomatoes, man, I don't know. For me, Leo's performance blew me away. I thought he was fucking great in it, man. To watch a movie like this with this A-list actor that's been around forever, and I didn't think about Rick Dalton once. I didn't think about Howard Hughes one time. I didn't think of any of his other roles, not even once. He just sold me as this guy, Jim Carroll's young drug addict the entire time. It's incredible, man. So for that reason, I gotta say, this is an example for me of a great performance and kind of a bad movie. I thought this movie was kind of awful, to be honest with you guys.
So does it hold up or not? The movie, not the performance.
This movie doesn't hold up for me for these reasons, I gotta say. But I'm curious to hear from you.
Mike, you want to go? You want me to go?
I'll go. I feel like we haven't talked as much. I mean, what else can you say about watching somebody become addicted to a substance and just wanting only to do that? I mean, there's again, not knowing when this movie's taking place, but that malt shop makes it really feel like it's in the early or mid 60s. A malt shop. That's what it is.
Malt shop.
Right? And
weird.
As Pedro's sitting there just sucking on it while Mickey puts a gun to his head because he doesn't give a fuck. He's so high and happy with his malt. By the way, I love a chocolate malt. It's so good. So much better than a shake.
Big boy?
It's so
forget about it.
Oh, big boy malts, man. It takes me back.
Metal cup. Oh my god.
Oh yeah,
boy.
the second metal.
Yes.
That sounds so. The bonus cup. Where's Ruben when you need him? Man, that's awesome. But it does. It doesn't explain like how it happens. It just happens, and you can imply it from, as Travis pointed out, he's dealing with the loss of his friend, and he's growing up in a house with just a mom. He doesn't have a lot of direction otherwise. It's hard. All these institutions have kind of failed him in a way, or at least it appears that way. So he turns to the streets and he gets high, and they really go deep with it. They don't kind of half-ass it. They just keep going. It's like, all right, Pedro gets busted, and Mickey and Jim just keep running around the streets, breaking into shit and trying to scrounge money where they can, and then people die. All the people that died. You know, it's well done in terms of the one-track focal mind of just trying to get high every day and not get sick. That is done quite well. Leonardo DiCaprio is a child actor. And, you know, every time I think of child actors these days, I remember our friend of the show, Steve, who's on Small Screen Sessions with Travis, another fine podcast. You know, he gave me a genesis point. I'm like, how almost all Hollywood actors of the modern era today started off as kids. Like, they didn't just show up. A lot of them just were already doing this as young children. And Leo is another example of that. But does that mean he sucks? No, he's done some great performances, I think. I don't think he was just a pretty face. He does a pretty good job with this movie. It's not his fault if it holds up or not. The direction sucks. This director is trash. I think you could have actually, I don't say this often, this movie could have been longer, I believe, and could have added some other elements into it that filled in the gaps about, you know, the pain, the difficulties, and some of the parts of the other characters' backgrounds, like Lorraine Bracco and Reggie, played by Ernie Hudson. I would have been down for some of that. I really would have, as opposed to the repetitive, you know, I guess, downward spiral of addiction, which the movie does a good job of showing. But does it hold up? I did find myself wandering off with my mind at the end. I did. I'm like, oh, is this almost over? I feel like it really kind of barely gets to the finish line. But it is entertaining in other parts, and I do like watching these other people on screen. And I think because of the old nostalgia factor, I'm going to say it holds up by a nose.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to echo your point about Lorraine Bracco and Ernie Hudson's characters. Like, these are strong actors and interesting characters. I think we didn't really get that much of Reggie in particular. It's almost magical. The way that he shows up and saves him and does little else in the movie besides play half a game of basketball and show up clapping in an audience member, right? That's all he does. So there's fleshing out of some important characters that we needed more of. I don't think the movie needed to be longer. I think it's like you said, Mike. I think that they really beat the horse too hard with all the fucking drooling and slobbering and like, you know, fucking like, yep, we get it. I do like that he gets clean and like immediately like it's like, nope, I don't want this, and like like goes back out and relapses like immediately like that. You don't see that necessarily in these kinds of movies that often. There is a lot of realism in this movie that's good, you know, like it's strong. It maybe, as you were talking though, I made me think of the movie The House That Jack Built, which I could never finish because there's a lot of realism there where you're spending a lot of time with a serial killer, and it's like, oh, I feel like I'm spending a lot of time with a serial killer. Well, that's not a place I want to hang out. Spending a whole bunch of time with a hardcore drug addict slobbering all over himself and begging and scraping and picking up dimes off the street and debasing himself and sniveling and slobbering some more and screaming. Awesome performance from Leonardo DiCaprio. Really, really is strong. But dude, like, is this a movie I want to spend time with? Not particularly. I think that it holds up in the sense of the genre, that specific genre of drug film that it is, like Trainspotting and Requiem, although it's not nearly as good as either one of those movies. I think it accomplishes that, like, hey, drugs bad. As a movie, I'm not going to rush to watch it again. It's not a place I want to spend time in. It didn't hold up for me.
Oh, Eric, do you take personal offense?
What? He didn't hold up for him either.
No, I hated it.
Oh, but he picked it. You never know. So he's very sensitive about that.
Hated it. Now we'll say it out loud.
Oh, you say you hated it, huh?
We just said.
Also, I forgot. You think if we were paddled by our teachers that we would have gotten our shit together earlier, or
no,
that not have worked? Paddled in front of your peers?
A lot of people went downhill, even though they were paddled. So
I think I would have done like these motherfuckers did. Maybe that's a good point about the movie, is that since I couldn't unleash the cork in school, and I couldn't unleash it at home, I would have found ways to do it outside of either one of those places. And who knows what kind of shenanigans I would have gotten up to with zero supervision.
See? Okay, now we're talking. Well, there it is. Basketball Diaries. You can't find it anywhere anyway, so maybe you weren't able to watch it. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Thanks to Bozo's Trash. We got to shout out Bozo's Trash. Save the day. Somebody picked a movie. They didn't check and see if it was streaming anywhere, but luckily Mike had it in his files. Bozo Trash.
I was shocked. I thought it was everywhere.
Bozo's Trash always delivers.
Yep.
Gets you where you need to go. All right, so next week it's my turn. Gosh, I feel like I haven't participated in forever because I didn't end up doing my last pick, The Enemy of the State, which you guys did for me. Thank you so much.
That was weird.
And that was like my Gene Hackman tribute. But so I'm like following a little bit about what Travis did. Hey, you did 3 Robin Williams movies. Maybe I should like do a run here. Maybe I should dive into the Val Kilmer sweepstakes.
All right.
A lot of places to go, and I thought about it really hard.
Twixt.
But I think what I'm going to do is have a laugh. I don't feel like we've had a comedy. Maybe have we done a comedy recently? The World's Greatest Dad is a dark comedy, right?
Yeah.
But it's not like a straight comedy. So
right.
I think I'm going to do the straight comedy. That's what I've decided to. And I'm going to take us back to that wonderful time in our lives in the year 2006 or 7. Not really sure exactly if it was one or the other. It's one of the two.
Okay.
So let's do a movie that is a parody as well. Not just a comedy. It's a parody film, which I love. Those are harder to come by as we age. Let's do Dewey Cox, Walk Hard. Find out if it holds up or not. John C. Reilly. Yeah.
Very interesting choice. All right.
I even saw this movie in theater. I can tell my story next week. So
I'll look forward to that. Cool. Dewey Cox.
Yeah.
I almost watched that the other night. Late at night, I stumbled across it and almost threw it on. I was like, I'll see what else is out there, but I'll come back to it if I can't find it or something. I'm glad I didn't.
I'm glad you didn't either. Cool. There it is. Straight comedy next week. Join us for the Dewey Cox Show with Eric, Michael, and Travis. Thanks for being here. We love doing the show. Send me an iPod@gmail.com. And thanks to the Basketball Diaries for giving us something to talk about. Bye-bye.
Rest in peace, Jim.
Jim Carroll. All the people that died. All the people that died. All the people. All the people that died.
They're my friends. They died.
No pulling your peckers before the game.